Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Tarot Chat with Jay. I have a hashtag today. So my hashtag is called difficult decks, and why they're hard. It seems to me that it's very easy to talk about decks that you love. For example, you can see any of my previous videos. I babble on and on about what I like about them, how I use them, how they touch my heart, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to flip that and sort of look from the other side. What decks are difficult? Things can be difficult for a lot of reasons. So I'll include the numbered questions in the description below. Number one, are they difficult because they are too deep and too shadow worky? I start with a deck that I made for myself when I was starting the shadow work path. It's called Courier and Thorpe and Ives. I created it myself out of stationery supplies, index cards, sticky paper, glue. It has cards like Lady, Landscape, On the Hudson, Shadow Work. This is an image of two trains spewing smoke in the moonlight on double tracks. Moon in an idyll with a lighthouse and a harbor. Danger with people shooting guns in a marsh and ducks fleeing. So I think when you create a deck for yourself, or you decide to do shadow work, sometimes that can be very difficult. It's not an easy path, no matter how it's toted to be on t-shirts or mugs. It's something that requires a lot of work, and it can be difficult. Number one. Number two, are they a diverse system? Are the cards speaking a language that you just don't understand? I have two decks to show for this one. First is Yggdrasil. I'm working on this one. Second, and a little tongue-in-cheek, so there you go. The second is Serpent Fire. This deck is so complex I can barely find out who wrote it, who did the art, who is Serpent Fire. Is this the 7th version I've had? It's all rumor and smoke and mirrors, and fundamentally Serpent Fire uses an astrological telling of the tarot. So here we have 9 of Pentacles, where I might expect to see a woman with 9 pentacles in a garden and a bird. This is a woman in a desert with a circle and some symbols. I believe possibly Sagittarius and Venus. So it has to do with those words that I've heard but I don't quite get, like decant and slices of houses, and that 32 seconds. And it's just here's 2 of Wands, this beautiful person twisted up on a hill. It's not a person on a path in a cross section with 2 wands that I expect to see. So it's difficult that way, but it's very exciting. It pulls me in. It makes me want to learn more. It draws me in more. And that's the thing I like about difficulty. It's not impossible. It's not bad. It's an energy that also draws you in, but it's not easy. We move on to number 3. They just are not for you, no matter how much you want them to be. Meet my trio of Antelli Castellis, and she did Art Nouveau, which I found misogynistic and really aggressive, and not really showing me what the cards meant. I tried to improve it with the astrology cards. That also did not especially help me, because apparently I haven't really nailed down astrology yet. And then I thought, oh look, she did a flower version. I like flowers. Maybe I can pick a flower from the lawn of metaphysicality, and this will bring everything clear to me. No, it did not. So someone else will be getting this grand collection of mine, and I learned a little lesson that sometimes if it's not for you, it's just not for you. It's just not for you. Alrighty. My question number 4 is, are they too pretty? Are they too precious? Is the deck difficult? Do you never pick it up because it's historical? Because you've read somewhere that it's worth monetary value? Are you not even exactly sure what it's called? Grand Tarot Bellini? Yes, it's exquisite, and it's very interesting. This deck is almost like it's a treasure for me. I know that someday I will decide to sit down and go through the Devil, the Tower, go through these, really sit with them, really meditate them, really get to know each and every of the 78, because I haven't gone through them, every single one. I get through them and I go, oh, precious, okay, that was it, gonna put them back now, you know. So sometimes a deck can be difficult because it's just too perfect. Does that happen to you? All right. Look, we have to pause and get these back in their little box because I don't want anything to happen to them. We go on to question number 5. Is there a card in the deck that's just too ugly? I talk extensively in other videos and in real life to anyone who would like to hear about it, about fairy tarot cards by Radley Valentine. I really, really like this deck. I really do like this deck. I use it in a lot of circumstances. However, dun dun dun, the Sun card. Not only is it a naked baby on a horse, but it's a naked grown guy blowing a bugle on a unicorn. Please. The coloration, even, you know, the orange and the purple clashes for me, and y'all know I really like the orange and purple combination. I can't even take it. So I find myself not reaching, saying, I don't know if I want to use this for a daily draw, because what happens if this one turns up? So I found that interesting. This card makes this deck difficult. Do you say that, inequality? The little Libra mind whirls. Alrighty. Question number 6. Is it too truthful? This might hurt tarot. When I read for myself or I read for others, it asks it right there on the title. This might hurt. I say, are you ready? Are you ready to hear this? Because here it comes. Flip. And in fact, this is a bridge deck, because my next question is it too sharp or too pointy or too gilded in a physical sense? Does it actually hurt? These cards are sort of that holographic gilding on the outside, and it does bite the fingers. Not only metaphysically can it bite and sting, but in a real and true sense it can. However, the golden winner for the is it too sharp goes to Golden Tarot. This gilding bites, stings. The cards themselves will take a riffle shuffle. The gilding will not. Learned that lesson the hard way. We segue on to question number 8. Is it too hard to handle? They slip, they slide, they fly across the room. How do you shuffle them? How do you hold them? Are they too big? Are they too small? Do they just not stay in your hand? I am so pleased to get my little paws on Seasons of the Wedge Beltane, but day 1, they're gilded and sticky. You have to do that, like, prying, cracking, please don't break my cards thing. And then they're super slippery if you are trying to handle them all together or show cards or flip cards. They really get out of control a little bit. So they're a bit much to handle all at once. Lastly, we are heading on to question number 9. Is the deck difficult because it's too real, too recent, too raw, a little hard to handle? I'm looking at the United States of Tarot. This is, here we have Princess of Swords. This is Sarah Lyre Huckabee Sanders. She makes me angry all the time. Every time I see her, that frowning puss, that horrible lies, that pretending to tell the truth. Get away from my children, woman, is fundamentally what I'm seeing. And as Princesses of Swords, it's just such an angry message for that card. Here we have the Lovers, and these are a couple, I believe they're called the Darlings, 1950. There's a policeman lurking there in the distance because they're not allowed to live in their house together at this time. Yellow roses, and it's just such a poignant, sad, painful reminder of U.S. history. The Two of Swords is a figure in water holding swords, looking at choices with 2 rifles crossed in front of her as well. That's such a reminder, such a you think everything is just the way it was? Well, it's not. There is something going on, something that needs to be addressed, and something that the conversation is not finished with. We see that in the depiction of the devil is a KKK rider, and justice is leaden and blind and fading into the background while Kavanaugh spills beers on the Supreme Court. And the Magician with Vladimir Putin pulling the strings of Trump. So it's difficult, it's painful, it's heart-wrenching, but thank you. Thank you to these decks. Thank you for difficulty. Thank you for joining me today. Kindly join along if you found interest. This is #difficultdecks. And descriptors will be below as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been astounding. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, friends. It's been Jay.